Check my levels real quick. 1 2 1 2. Hey, turn the mic up.
No, that's fire. That's fire.
Nah, hey, y'all see what we got going on? You gonna hit the like button real quick? Let me know. Let us know. You leave a comment or something.
Subscribe.
For real.
The bell notification.
Y'all say y'all starting off begging. My fault. Hey, welcome back to the TheSnDPodcast, episode 16.
Episode 16.
Yeah, episode 16, man. How's it feel?
Good. We've been doing this for a grip. I mean, like, not as consistent as I would like to be all the time, but
Consistent enough.
consistent
I feel
enough.
like, you know,
And I feel
we
like
very well could have stopped.
yeah,
you
I
know?
feel like we both still consider it somewhat of a priority. So
No,
that's
most
really what
definitely.
matters.
Most definitely. I think about this a lot whenever I'm recording my videos, and it's like, I think about even doing like a mini podcast series on my channel, just
Mhm.
talking about random stuff. Forgot, you know,
Oh yeah, first
YouTube
15,
cracking down.
YouTube cracking down on the.
But yeah, I enjoy this podcast, doing it with you, and you know, just kicking the shit, and I know it's nice. So if y'all like it, let us know, because we really want this to turn into something. So
Nah, for real. If you like it, leave a like. I know we
For
just
real.
asked, but I'm asking
For real.
again.
Hey, please, y'all hear us really clearly now.
Right.
You know what I mean? ASM. No, let me stop.
Not the ASMR. Oh shit! But we talked a lot about the podcast last week about God of War.
Yes.
And
Yes.
You finished it recently.
I did. So I clocked in at the time of the last recording. I think I was around 30 hours, 31 hours. I'm now, before I got to the final mission, the final segment or act, chapter, whatever you want to call it, I was at around 38. I know how much it was, 38 hours and 50 minutes. I was like, damn, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I finished the game. I haven't played a more perfect game in a long time.
I mean, I was playing through God of War, and I'm like I think based on what you said, I'm like about halfway through.
Mm.
But I don't know. I was hearing a lot of like, there's no way God of War even competes with Elden Ring type shit from the Game Awards, and I'm like, they're like, God of War is a good game, but Elden Ring, and I'm like, I don't know. Me personally, I've played God of War. I haven't played Elden Ring. I'll give them that. But I've played other.
I haven't either, so I can't. But it's like,
I've played other Souls likes,
Yeah.
and me personally, I think that regardless of like how, because I get that the part of the combat is supposed to be hard, and God of War has God of War mode, which is kind of like that.
Mm.
And I mean, I've also played games like that, but with that, I feel like you have to be interesting. And I feel like a lot of the problem with the FromSoft games is that they're so focused on the difficulty and like boss mechanics that the lore, they don't have time for lore.
Mm-hmm.
So lore and shit is like I don't want to have to chase your lore down, go on your wiki, read 52 million notes.
Yeah, for real.
Whereas with God of War, like the narrative is very clear, and there is that extra shit if you're interested in it. But
And it's very well woven into just like the natural gameplay. You know,
Yeah.
as you're playing, you have Mimir telling stories, Atreus or Freya telling stories. It keeps you intertwined with that world
right,
without, you know, you having to, like you said, wiki everything or look stuff up and watch YouTube videos. Like, you naturally want to learn about what's going on because it ties everything that's happening together so well.
it's one of those one of the few games where I don't even put like music on in the background because I just like hearing the random dialogue when we in the boat or when we walk in
facts.
somewhere. I'm just
Mimir out of nowhere. We want to hear a story.
right.
I was like, yes, I do want to hear a story. Thank you.
Like no, recently he been talking about like where I am in the game. I think like you said, I'm about halfway through. I just got the spear, and Brock gave him that riddle on this, and he's so mad about that riddle right now, bro.
What?
Nigga is tight.
Man, you got to finish the game, bro. But, you know what I'm saying? If y'all watching, y'all finish the game, we're here. You feel what I'm saying? We're here. I will say, I think, you know, we were talking before we started recording about the spear and not really knowing where you were in the game. Which, real quick tangent, I'm glad that there's no percentage level next to the save. A lot of games will show you what the percentage is at before you, like, just by saving. I like the fact that I didn't know because, like, I don't want to know when it ends. So when I got the spear, I was like, oh, shit, we got
I'm just in
I
this
got
bitch.
about 20 more hours in me now,
Literally,
bro. What?
bro.
But yeah, I was about to say, the spear is such a great weapon.
It's so fucking
fire,
fun, bro. And also, like, it's another one of those things where it just fits so well.
Right.
Like you were saying, the air shit. Because I thought, I was wondering, Cause when they first pulled the ring out, like when he pulls the ring out from the behind underneath their house or whatever the fuck, I'm like, oh, we're gonna get a ring. It's gonna do some wind effect or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's no way to give me another weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they get the blade and shit, and I was like, okay. And then I didn't think we were getting the weapon until we got down, and bitch was like blood bending and shit. I was like,
yeah, I was like,
oh,
guitar.
I was like, what the fuck? Fucking mermaid down here.
She a little freaky with it.
No.
Like, Brock sitting there like drooling.
Nah, the blood play was kind of wild. I was.
Yeah, it reminded me of was it Resident I want to say was it Resident Evil? What's the game with the real big white lady with the big titties?
Oh yeah, that's Resident Evil.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of fuck with it. I don't know, like we're past that, first threshold. YouTube, don't monetize us. I was watching that shit because I didn't play it, but I was watching it. I was watching Berlizzi play it, and she did the whole she cut your shit and then started. So I'm like, ooh man, I don't know.
Nah,
that blood play, that's kind of weird, but I can see how somebody might like it. Is what I'm saying.
I can see how someone could be into it. That person is not me.
Yeah, I mean, don't knock it till you try it.
I mean, listen, respectfully, like I don't do needles, so we're talking
oh
to
well,
start.
yeah, never mind.
I don't do fucking needles. That's why I don't do shots. Don't do needles. Don't like it.
So, well, quick tangent. What's the difference between you getting a tattoo versus like other needles? I don't have a tattoo, so I don't know.
It's a collection of needles,
and
also I don't have to look at it. Like it's very rare. Well, I mean, most of the tattoos I have are not in places that I could see when I was getting into. Because I have one right here, like one right here, one underneath it right here, and then like one. The only one that I could see was like on my calf, and like I don't know. Tattoos are more of like is this a relaxing kind of thing for me? It's almost like a meditation of sorts, like
acupuncture.
Yeah, but I don't like acupuncture because I could see the needles.
Oh, okay.
So with the tattoo gun, it's like fuck. Oh, you know what's perfect? So like when you get like the lead refills, like the circle one, that's what it reminds me of. So it just adds all those. That's what a tattoo gun looks up like real close up. And so it's very rare that you're gonna see, unless you're getting like a stick and poke. It's very rare that you're gonna see like the singular needle.
Right.
Which is why I'm fine with tattoos and not the wrong needles. But and also like I said, you just focus on the pain. It's real clear your head, empty your thoughts type shit.
Yeah.
Like they just zone out for real.
That's dope. But I mean, I guess back on track with God of War. After finishing the game, I was really contemplating, and I'm still playing it. Like the unfortunate part was I did so many of the side quests prior to finishing the game, so I'm like just searching around what to do. I have like lore and codex and shit to pick up, but it's like, damn, why didn't I save some of these favors to that? But I can't. Like the game doesn't allow. Like if you're a gamer, bro, you fuck the main story.
They tell me too much, bro. They be like, hey, you should stop. They should be like,
well, we don't have to leave now. Right. Maybe we can explore more.
I know we just gave you that crest for real, but what if we did this other shit?
And I'm like,
or like I'll be literally right about like, bro, literally after you get the spear, right? I'm walking. She's like, the portal's over here. You could probably reach it now. I get Frey back. I'm like, I bet. Nigga over here, can you find my hammer? Bro, I was just finna leave. And now,
yes, I can.
I was like, but yes. And now I go find this nigga hammer. On the way to find his hammer, it's like, yeah, but my son died, though, looking for this shit.
My God,
and I'm
bro,
like,
facts.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could find your son. And it's just shit like that, bro. I'm just like, well, you want me to just ignore this nigga and his
Exactly.
He said his son was looking for the treasure. I'm trying to reunite them and find me some treasure.
For
like,
real. And even that is so well woven in because like you'll be doing one favor and you'll naturally come across another one that's like, well, shoot, I'm gonna help you out.
Right.
And then as you go back, you come across another one. It's like, well, damn. And then once you finish everything, you look over there and you see one of them, the fucking lore chest or whatever,
right,
with the Greek letters on it. You're like, well, I'm about to find out how to fuck do this shit too.
Speaking of, bro,
just never ends.
Right after you get the spear, the fucking one right by the train tracks, bro. That shit took me so fucking long. Cause I'm sitting here like,
bro, what?
There's one right in front of me,
God.
and there's one clearly over here, and I'm like, where the fuck is the third one? I don't want all the way down rock. Like, how you gonna put it on the back of the rock at the start where you fucking bro? I wasn't go. Why would I go over there? Why would I think it's over there? For what? For what reason?
Dude, because in my head I'm like, okay, it must be like sub 100 meter radius. Like, where am I looking? Okay, you got one here and then one here. If we're making it triangulate, you feel what I'm saying? There's gonna be one on the other side. I'm like, where is this bitch? Man, I'm about to fucking leave. I go up to the train tracks, turn around. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
No, literally, I went up to, like you said, I went to the train tracks, and I saw the fucking bird, and I was like, oh, what is the raven? I got the spear now, and I can beam this bitch, and I'm aiming for him, and I look right below it. I'm like,
I could beam this bitch.
ain't no fucking way.
No, getting the ravens with the spear is so fire, bro.
Oh, no,
Charge that
definitely.
bitch up, goddamn.
No, because I was wondering before too, like, how the fuck am I supposed to hit this with this dinky ass axe, bro? Like, the axe is
my
fire,
God.
but I'm not finna hit this raven.
Yeah,
with it,
for
bro.
real.
The arc on that does not work like that.
For real, especially when that bitch is flying around. It's like,
Almost
oh my
definitely
God,
not.
bro.
I'm like, this nigga is moving, bro. How am I supposed to hit him? But with a spear, nigga.
There was one raven on Vanaheim that took me so long to get. I forgot where it was, but I literally sat at that bitch for about 5-7 minutes trying to fucking hit that fucking raven, bro. I just cussed a lot.
Literally. The raven that I hit that I'm talking about at Svartalheim, I spent like 10 minutes trying to hit it with my axe before.
It'd be like
and I was really just like, you know what, bro? I'm gonna come back. I spent 10 minutes trying to hit it with my axe, then went over and saw the first fucking shit that you blow up with the spear, hit it, and he was like, we don't have the shit for this, brother. I'm like,
oh my God, bro.
Alright, bro, keep that same energy.
I like love the fact that they tell you when it's like, don't waste your energy trying to get this.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, bro, like, watch out, bro.
No, the same shit. When you know how you have the fucking the pick that you can use to open the shit. The same shit happened to me when the first time I saw like the new way you use the pick with fucking Freya and shit. I was like, bro, they got this like weird letter gas shit over here and this green shit. Like, I'm supposed to hit this. He's like, we don't have the shit for that. I'm like, bro, I got the pick. Like, what the fuck is you talking about, nigga? Like, what more could I need?
For real, man. But I can safely say God of War is I can give it greater than a 10 out of 10 if I could, because every element of that game and the story, like the way that they built off the first campaign or the first game story into this one and just made it so much deeper, more emotional, a lot of great character development. It's just everything that I wanted out of it, and more. It exceeded my expectations. And I already had super high. I'm like, bro, it's God of War. Y'all can't mess this up.
Yo, better not.
Y'all literally can't. And they were like, bro, shut up.
Like, bro, who are you talking about? Like, what do you think this is, man? No, like, literally, even something that I love so much is just the, like, because even they had a little bit of this in the overarching story of the first one of just Kratos becoming more like compassionate and becoming more of a dad now. But like even just the little moments and shit, like where you're killing the raiders in fucking Midgard, so that the wolves aren't scared anymore, and just little shit like that where he's becoming more compassionate and like I love shit like that, bro. Like those deep character, like literally those deep character moments, like where you're having that interpersonal relationships between him and Freya and shit like that. Even the fucking where she fucking tripped his wife, I was like, bro, when I told you I was hot, nigga, I was like, I will leave you in this bitch.
Please, just give me a reason.
The best thing she said when we got up, I'm gonna give you some space. I was like, yes, I need it, bitch. Cause you playing with me right now. I don't know who the fuck you think you are talking about. There's no way you talk about you don't know what your wife wanted, and also I'm your champion in the same sentence. Like, ain't no way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. The theme of the game for me, at least for Kratos' character, is I'm trying.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Kratos is a black dude. Like, he's full blown nigga.
Oh, yeah.
Through and through.
100%.
Atreus is a mixed baby.
I know Atreus is white, but like Kratos
is
a nigga, bro. Don't worry about
bro.
it, man.
Like you seen Angry Boda, bro. Like that might as well be my daughter now too, bro.
Literally.
She the fam. But not even to make this racial, but just the idea of father, a black father that is, a lot of them are stubborn and, seeing a different world from other people. So they want what's best for their kids and just what they, what they see.
Yeah.
And that was Kratos in the first game. And now this game is very, very much a resolution to that. And him just still being stubborn, but realizing I'm just trying to be the best father that I can be.
Right.
And, that resonates. And I'm sure it resonates with a bunch of people, regardless on, what your background is. But definitely as a black boy or like a young black man, like I resonate with that so much.
Nah, like for
and, just the game handled it so well, and it was so genuine and so natural. And I'm watching the game, and it's like sometimes I could put myself in Kratos' shoes, and then in those situations I just step back and I'm like a fly on the wall.
Yeah. I mean, even some shit like, I don't know, like with the parenting and shit like that, like they always say, like you try to take the best parts of your parents and put that forward into your kids and leave the shit that didn't work. Like I could even see moments that Kratos has where I'm like, yeah, like this is kind of like my parents did. And I get that, but also moments where it was like, this is what my parents did, and I would do the same shit, even though like knowing that it's
right.
Because like, bro, when fucking the Fates, not the Fates, the Norns, when they was talking about, yeah, Heimdall's try to kill your son, and you gonna go up there and start Ragnarok because of it, and I was like, nigga, damn right,
like, bro, watch out.
like, okay, and yo, listen, this whole time I was trying to avoid it. It was peace. Y'all say he gonna kill who? Oh, okay.
I mean, turn this whole bitch up now.
Right. Like, I mean, it is what it is. You gotta do shit. I was like, is it the wrong decision? Yes. Like, I don't even know if I can say I would prefer Kratos did not go over there. Because I don't know if he's going to go over there or not. But, like, I can't be mad at him for doing it. And I would do the same shit. But, like, in my head, like, the logical part of me is like, don't do it. But also, I'm like, nah, about me and mine, bro. Like, oh, what's up for real?
And it's such a obvious. It's like once you put yourself in their shoes, it's a very obvious answer as to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But even if you put yourself in the other character's shoes and you just stay back as the player, you're like, don't do this. Especially it's so big on prophecy, right? So it's like, don't feed into the prophecy because that's what the prophecy wants you to do or whatever. But once you really think about where Kratos is coming from and kind of like what he stands on and what he's been through, it's like, man, I'm a run through a fucking realm for mine. It's like,
yeah,
you're not taking this away from me. Even if it's prophecy for it to happen, I'm still going to attempt at not having it happen.
Nah, literally, bro. Like, I mean, the prophecy says, like, literally, he knows in the prophecy that, the prophecy says if he does this shit, he finna die. I'm like, okay, and my son finna be alive. The end, point blank, period.
Yeah,
like,
and that's all
I'm not gonna let this random nigga kill my son because I might die in the future. Like,
Odin.
the fuck, bro. Oh my, bro. What I tell you, I climbed up that wall of the Atreus and saw that nigga, and he pulled me up, and this nigga said his name was Heimdall. I was like, ooh,
right.
Where's Heimdall? Because it can't be this nigga right here. This twink in front of me is Heimdall? What the fuck? Yeah. With the glowing purple eyes.
But and then what happened? You tried to hit that nigga, bro.
And then I was like, this bitch nigga. Nah, he embarrassed me a little bit, but that nigga still not
cold. I was like, he ain't Heimdall, but I could not let. I was like, Ultra Instinct and all that, bro. I was like, damn, bro.
This nigga fucking dodged the fuck out of me. All right, bro. Like, my bad.
Nah, bro. But I don't know. God of War is. I just can't explain how amazing that damn game is, man. I can't.
Bro, it literally has, like, I mean, all the shit I love from a good video game. Good story, great pacing, great combat.
Great pacing.
Fire graphics. Like, even the music is
dumb
good,
graphics,
right?
bro.
Like, even the music the music isn't, like, my favorite type of music, but it's music that's good and immerses me in the space. So,
right,
like,
yeah.
What else can I ask for real? I mean, the only game, I'm trying to think, the only game that, like, tops, like, we'll say in the last 5 years or so, the only game that tops God of War right now, this one, is by Devil May Cry 5. But that is the most recent game from my favorite series of all time. And that shit is similar to God of War, where it has a great combat system, but it also has great music and just, like, characters I love and shit like that. Nostalgia bias.
I think the last one for me would be, no pun intended, but The Last of Us 2. It's probably my, most recent GOAT game because, and another thing about that game is because the show is out now, to which I need to watch because I heard that shit was fire. But a lot of people bagged on The Last of Us 2. Did you play it? I don't know if we talked about it before.
I haven't played either of them. I've seen The Last of Us 2 played, but I haven't seen the first one.
But a lot of people was just mad at the direction that they took the second game, and I thought it was I love when a game can be realistic in the sense that what's happening feels real. Like, not realistic as far as graphics or voice acting and none of that, but, like, realistic in the sense that whatever happens, like, there's going to actually be consequences for it.
Yeah.
And it's not a decision-based game, and you really only see that in decision-based games. But this game was very much like, this is what y'all did in the first game. You fucked up.
Yeah,
you're really fucked up.
Y'all should have, respectfully, I get you fucked with her, but you should have gave her up. Nigga.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like we just gonna, it's gonna go all the way.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see how the show progresses.
mm-hmm.
And us that play the game or watch the game know what Joel's fate will be.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't detract from that because it's a show. Like you can prolong it, but he has to die in the show for it to be good. I don't care how good the show is. It can go 3 seasons till it gets to that point. If they fork from that, it's a terrible show.
Yeah.
So
fair.
I say all that to say the second game was great, and that'll probably be like my last perfect game. Besides, it'll probably be my last one.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I remember from Last of Us 2, like social media wise, is people just being mad that she was gay.
That was weird
and I
too.
was just like,
Which is, I mean, it's in the first game, but
y'all was gonna fuck her? Oh my bad.
y'all was gonna go through the screen and then they were mad that Abby, she had a big body on her. She was getting her cheeks clapped, and they were like, "Why?" One thing that I saw was really weird was they were mad that Ellie was gay and Abby was the one that was getting her cheeks clapped. There's people felt like it should be the other way around. I'm like, now y'all are really weird because y'all are
y'all
like
strange for real.
trying to flip like, bro, like watch out and play the game. Like,
I mean, not to on the soapbox or whatever, but like, listen, bro, like, it's just not like that for real, man. Like,
they watching the scene just mad that it wasn't them, bro.
all right,
That's
he
all
was
it
like,
is.
I can't imagine myself being a big body girl because she getting clapped. I'm like,
you're a whole nigga, bro.
like, bro, like,
Of course you can't imagine that.
go outside.
You are, man. Don't get me started. But yeah, I feel like after beating this game though, I need something else to play it. It kind of reinforced the idea that games are dead for me right now. Like I only have so much more exploring to do, and I don't know what else to play. I'm not playing Elden Ring. I have friends who want me to play. I'm not playing that, bro.
I mean, I will end up playing Elden Ring, but also
They
like,
make it free. I will.
I'm not playing Elden Ring unless it's on sale for at least 50% off. Cause I'm not paying. I'll say this to that, bro. I'm not paying no $60, but $70 now to be mad at a video game. You got me fucked up. It's not
To
happening.
break the controller.
It's not fucking happening. I don't care. I don't care if it's the best game ever came out. It's not happening.
Hell no.
But that and like, I've just seen a lot of it played. Like I've just watched a lot of like what you call it? Afro Senju's a YouTuber I watch a lot. He has a whole playthrough on it, completing the whole game. I'm just like, so I already know how one of the story pathways goes, and like, yeah, it's been a minute since he played it, but I mean, I've also seen my friends play it a lot, so like, the story is, I guess I'll be able to get a little bit more of the story because I have that background and shit, but like, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'll probably just be playing it more for the mechanics, but I don't think it'll grip me like God of War has, and like you said, it's made me realize that like, a game has not gripped me or like had me like that in a minute for like,
And it's really. It's not good because games are charging just as much as God of War, and it's like the bar is high for games now, bro. Like I can't be spending money on these half-ass games in whatever situation.
Literally, bro. Like, and I mean, even it just goes to show you, like, with God of War, I thought I would slow down like playing it as much when like I got off break and started going back to work and shit again, but like, nah, for real, I still do be up like.
Nah, for
4
sure.
a.m. Like, damn, I'm playing God of War right now.
Bro, this past
I gotta
Saturday.
be at work again.
This past Saturday, I went out, ended up getting back normal time, like 10 or whatever. I got back early, but I ended up getting ready to go to bed at around noon or at midnight. Was laying down, couldn't go to sleep, got up. I'm like, all right, I'll play God of War a little bit. There's a couple things I can do. And at this time, I hadn't completed the story, but I was like, I'll just do some of the favors. It was about maybe like 1:15. I look up. Tell me why it's 5:50. I'm still playing. I'm like, I think I should probably get some sleep now.
It's one of them games for real.
I saved, and my time went from like 30 to 34 or some shit. I was like, I have not been playing the game for that long, bro. Just lose track of time. Like a game hasn't done that to me in so long.
And bro, that's what that like brings me back to my childhood type shit. Like this is like I mean, not as much. The game is not as good as. Well, actually, fuck that. Minecraft is a good game, but like it's not the same. Like it's a different type of game.
Yeah.
But even with that, it's like, I mean, listen, Minecraft had me, bro. I get on the game and my mom would be like, "You've been on for 3 hours. Time to get off." I've been like, "I just got on." What do you mean?
Wait, I got a Minecraft story, bro.
Ain't no way. What?
It was, let me see, 2013, 2014 for sure. And it was over the summer, so there was no school. And I remember it was 2 or 3 of my buddies, Tab, Nardi, and maybe Oswald or Steve, somebody else, whoever else was there. When I shit you not, we probably played that shit for like 34 hours straight. And I remember playing it all through one day. I got on at like 2 p.m. and played it all through the night until like noon the next day. And then I remember going to bed for like 30 minutes, got back on, played until like 8 o'clock that night. And I was like, I need to eat something. I'm upstairs, so I haven't been downstairs yet in like over a day, bro. And every time my parents would come to the door and be like, "You coming down to eat?" And I was like, "No, I come down there later." And then they just go to bed. And so the next day, I go down to eat. My dad, I finally go down for dinner. My dad was like, "So you guys want to show face now, huh?" I was like, just came down. I said, I just came down to get some dinner. He was like, "We ain't got no dinner for your ass, boy." He was like, "Take your ass back upstairs, play that damn game, since that's all you want to do."
No, it's probably one of those two where they was putting out the plate for you and shit. They put it in the microwave.
They had cooked for me, bro.
They put out the plate for you. They was like, "Oh, he not coming down." Before they go to bed, they put it in the microwave. Then they come in the morning, open it in the microwave.
This nigga ain't. Yo, bro.
Oh,
I was so hot, and then I had the nerve to be upset. Like, how they not gonna feed me? Thinking back, I'm like, nigga, I would have whooped my younger self's ass. Like, what are you doing, bro? And I know they were just being petty by leaving me upstairs, bro. And at that time, I was like, they were gonna let me starve. And oh my god! But that's just like the hold that Minecraft had on me, bro. Like, once we got going, there was no stopping.
Minecraft
and it was
is
so fresh then,
bro. It's literally one of them games for me. Like I don't know. I'm into tech, you know that, and like Minecraft is one of those where it has a lot of mod packs.
Mm-hmm.
So the tech mod packs, I always get into them and shit. Like literally, like it's not. We didn't do it this year, but like I feel like in college, every year around the end of the year when everybody would get off and break and shit, it's like we got a Minecraft server. We running that shit for a week. Like it became a meme where niggas would pull, like, you know, on the servers how you have playtime.
Yeah.
Niggas would pull up the playtime and be like, "Yo, Sean Lowe,
Yeah.
what's up with this, bro? Server been up for 48 hours. Why you got 38?
Hey, bro, mind your business.
I'd be
Mind
like,
your business.
Because I gotta shower, I gotta cook, I gotta eat, and the rest of that, we catching the. I accidentally fell asleep for 45 minutes building some shit, and I wake up, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I do it.
It be like that. And just for a game to do that, like you said, Minecraft is a different game, so you can't necessarily compare it, but you can compare greatness in the sense that once you get started, it just like you really immerse in a different world, bro.
Yeah.
Like no corny shit, no cliche shit. Like the game makes you feel a part of that reality, so to speak, and it's uncanny to the point where you look up and you be like, I remember even playing Grand Theft Auto 5 when it first dropped, because I love Grand Theft Auto. And I played that campaign through like one sitting to the point when I finally stopped, I looked around and I was like doing animations from the game. I was like, what the fuck is wrong? I would like walk out the door like this. Like, why am I doing in-game animations, bro? And I had to like disconnect myself from that world, because when the game can immerse you like that, thinking back on it, Grand Theft Auto 5 story is terrible, but I'm a GTA nerd, so like I loved it. But
I mean, you like what you like, and when a series has you, it just, I mean,
it has you,
for
bro. It has you,
like,
for sure.
I mean, yeah, like you said, it's just games aren't really doing that shit as much anymore, and it's kind of,
I don't even know. It's like they're not even trying to.
well,
And if they are, I don't know if they're
I
trying
feel like
to.
we lean on this a lot, but a lot of y'all niggas are bots.
Mm-hmm.
You'll buy anything. I mean, literally look at sports games. Like niggas will buy it every year on repeat. Honestly, same shit with COD. Niggas will buy it every year.
Yeah.
On repeat. Niggas
Sports
will complain
is the
about it.
biggest scam though. Sports games
sports
are
is
the
definitely-
biggest scam in gaming.
Yeah, because at least
bro.
COD is like a new game.
Yeah.
Sports game is like, yeah, we changed this nigga jersey.
They literally
Yeah, y'all
implemented a
can-
graphics mod every year.
Y'all can skateboard.
Barely.
What that got to do with basketball?
See, I wish they would make a jack of all trade games. Like I know it can happen as technology gets crazier. It definitely can happen, but they need a game like Sims. It doesn't even have to be like violent. It doesn't have to dip into the GTA simulation type. But if it was like Sims and you want to be in like crime, you can do like heists or like rob banks and stuff. But, or if you want to go into sports like the athletic field, it'll turn into like a 2K type game or a Madden type game. Or if you want to go to war, you're going to do military or whatever. It'll turn into a Call of Duty like game. And it won't be like the best versions of those genres. Like the gunplay won't be Call of Duty and the sports won't be whatever sports games. But you kind of get all of that in one package.
Yeah.
Ship microtransactions to the fucking roof, like, because there's actual stores. It'll literally be like damn near RP in like one game. And technically and technologically, that's damn near an impossible feat. But, a gamer can dream, bro.
I feel like
Is it impossible?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think the different activities, there'll probably be different servers, but as long as you do that, like, it should be theoretically.
Yeah, if you containerize things properly, there's no reason why it can't happen. Because there's people literally like I watched Phantom. I was watching Phantom stream, and then he pulled up on a nigga that worked at McDonald's, and his brother worked at the Apple Store. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? I'm watching Grand Theft Auto right now. But even just that thought of, some of these RP streamers and content creators are like damn near voice actors.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of dipping into voice acting because they're acting this shit out so real. And I'm like, there's no way. I forget I'm watching Grand Theft Auto. It's like I'm watching a fucking video game cartoon or some shit. Like,
Grand Theft Auto becomes less a game and more just the medium.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like they can do that on a grander or on a more grand scale with just like I said, like a jack in the box, jack of all trades game.
Yeah,
that'd be fire.
No, that would be fire as fuck. Like, development team would have to be probably not big, and it would definitely have to be online. It's definitely not a offline game that you could play.
Yeah, it has to be always online.
But it's definitely doable. Sounds fire as fuck.
There's a lot of different modding communities that would probably love to take this challenge on. Some studio. You know what I'm saying? Because I say modders are the best developers in the industry, bro.
Look at like shit like Gmod and fucking VR chat.
Facts.
Those are probably the closest things we have to that right now. But if a developer like actually,
even Roblox. I found out Roblox pays their interns a median of $9,600 a month. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and have to sign up for that shit, bro. They're interns.
Do not work for Roblox.
Interns, $10,000 a month.
Have you watched any videos about Roblox? Like the back end of Roblox?
What? No.
Roblox 1 has a child predation problem. Horrible one.
Has a what?
Child predation problem. Like horribly.
I guess we'll just go ahead and dip out that conversation then.
Dude, they exploit their creators. Like the children that make games, they exploit them.
That's tough. It's a business.
Yeah, but
is it morally wrong? Yes, but there's a lot of moral things that are wrong in business. Unfortunately, I don't subscribe to it. I'm just saying it's just the reality of it.
My main thing with Roblox is it's a children's game that's not safe for children. Yeah,
but they do say online interactions are not monitored by the ESRB. They give you the warning.
Yeah, but like if you have known pedophiles on your shit, if you know niggas are pedophiles, like you kind of gotta, bro.
That's true. That's true. I can't.
And at least like
can't go against that.
IP ban a nigga. Like, come on, bro. I'm not saying you gotta call the feds on him. I'm saying.
Well, here I'll do you one better. I'll go intern there and I'll change all that shit around. You know what I mean? I'll get my checks and leave.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But no, nonetheless though, Roblox is a game that kind of takes that jack of all trades kind of like idea and have different servers for a bunch of different things and have these kids literally doing GTA RP. And the stuff that they're doing on there is worse than RP, for real. I seen a nigga, they shot up a house party. It's that viral clip, but I forgot what his name was, but it was like a running joke on Twitter. And it was like some Chicago server, and they were all, it was like these Roblox characters jumping in the house, and then one dude was like on the stage inside the house. This nigga walks in, pop, 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 and the music stops, and all the Roblox were jumping. They just stopped jumping. And then the dude goes outside, and they're like busting through the windows. I'm like, what the fuck, yo? And it's just squeakers. It's like kids. I'm like, that's crazy, 11. Bro.
Just shot up a Roblox house party.
You know they at school like, well, did y'all see that shit got shot up last night? I was like, bro,
go to bed to me.
For real. But better in game than in real life. That's one thing, though. I can almost guarantee these kids that are doing RP and all that Roblox shit, like, they're not going to do that shit in real life.
Oh, definitely not.
Like, they're literally not. Because there's people who say shit online that won't say it in real life. So if you take that extreme and talk about people doing the nasty stuff on the game, like, they're already weirdos, like, respectfully.
Yeah.
They're not doing none of that shit in real life. So
and I mean, like,
do it in the game in that sense. Fuck it.
I was leaving with that. I'll get on and get off this real quick.
Yeah.
When niggas do that, there have always been signs and tendencies. I won't say always. Majority of the time, there are signs and tendencies, and it could be nipped in the bud. And they're not video games, even though some legislators would like to chirp that as the reason. But that's because y'all ain't never played a game in your life, and you're born.
And go watch Die Hard, but it's okay. Watch The Equalizer and shit.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, I think that's a good games recap. God of War is amazing. We need some more fire in the gaming category because you know it's gonna get dry real quick now that this shit's over with.
No, literally, like I'm gonna stop playing God of War and I'm just gonna go back to being mad at Yu-Gi-Oh all the time.
I don't even know what my backup is, bro. Probably just keep making COD content for my channel. That's the only thing that's gonna save me.
I mean, literally, like I knew shit was dry when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I was like, nigga, you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now online. Which, like, I like Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Don't get me wrong, but it's like the fact that I was so bored that I fell back into my Yu-Gi-Oh habit like 15 years after I dropped Yu-Gi-Oh. Crazy as fuck.
That's just wild.
I was like, the streets is this dry right now? There ain't shit to play? Like, that's crazy.
But another unfortunate thing, not necessarily unfortunate, because the bigger picture is amazing, but King Skunk is officially retired.
Yeah. I mean, Danny was kind of upset about this, which, I mean, it took me a minute to realize, like, oh, he looked up to this nigga. Like, I get it like that. He looked up to him in a different way than I realized he did, if that makes sense. Because I didn't realize, because, like, at first, like, it's like, okay, COD community, like, I get that. This comes to King. Yes, he's done all this. I thought it was kind of like, how do I explain? I thought it was more like how I look up to Nade Shot, which, like, I see what Nade Shot has done. I respect what he's done. I think he's done a great job, and, like, I like watching his content. But I didn't realize as much that how much older they are than us,
right? And
how he spent his childhood playing COD a lot. That, like, he looked up to him, like, this is what I want to do when I grow up. This person is so and so years ahead of me, right. Type shit. Like a person looks up to, like, a basketball player. I didn't realize it was like that for real.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I equate it to whenever LeBron does hang it up, it's going to be that same, I mean, on a larger scale because it's LeBron, but it's that same feeling of a lot of these people our age and younger literally seen him at the beginning of competitive Call of Duty. Like, that's what's different than LeBron. It's not like LeBron's been competing since the beginning of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, and of course, Scump wasn't around at the very, very beginning, but as far as it started gaining traction, like, he was literally like the founding father of the shit. Yeah. From content to competitive to just organization. Like, he's literally a founding father. I wasn't upset that he retired. It was just more so like out of nowhere. You know what I mean? He played really good in that, that recent game against the Breach. nigga popped off. He had like a 1.2 or something, like going stupid.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I like the dashy drop in a sense that I don't really know how much he enjoys competing. Like, he's nasty, but I don't really know how much. It doesn't seem like he enjoys it that much because he hasn't really been doing the greatest. But, I mean, the roster that they have now, I mean, if Scump's been waiting to retire, I can only respect the fact that he's given that mantle to Dashy and them, because their roster on paper is nasty, and Scump can kind of just, like, sit back and really start running it up on the content tip and the ownership tip. Like, he has stake in Optic. Like, that's his
definitely.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just going to go even crazier now that he's not held back by having to compete.
I mean, yeah, and he's been saying that he wanted to do content. Like, even when he was doing his announcement video for that was his last year, he's been saying he wanted to do content and shit like that. I mean, I definitely get it. I think kind of, like, honestly, he just wanted to go out with a bang. Which is probably why he was going so hard in the breach match. I think Danny was saying something like he switched roles like 3 times this year. So, like, and even he was saying in his video, like, oh, like, I just can't do what they do these days. Like, it's just, I just can't keep up with them. Which I don't think means that he's like he's not as competitive. It's just like, I don't know. You get older, your joints get worse. Like, it just becomes harder. And
I think it's more so, yes, Scump's not the best in the league skill-wise anymore. I think him just as a natural talent can keep up with the league. I think he meant that in the sense that it's like, I have so much ahead of me as far as being a real owner of Optic and what that can mean for content and, you know, interacting with fans and all that other stuff. I don't know if I have the mental capacity to scrim for all these hours a day, go through all these role changes just to not, you know, place well and to not win. Like, when you're younger, that's kind of like the journey, you know what I'm saying? But he's kind of hit all those mountaintops, and I don't know if I have the mental fortitude to go and I'm speculating, but I'm thinking that's more so what he meant, because when he's on, like, he's damn near like top 5 in the league. I mean, he's top 5 in the league when he's on, for sure, no question. As a sub, or I think he was playing flex recently, but yeah, I think it was more so just like, I can't take this shit no more, bro. Like, y'all got it, the movement and the scrimming all the time and all that roster shit. Like, y'all can keep that. I've done my share of this.
I mean, he did say that, like, he overestimated his energy. Which happens sometimes. And I mean, yeah, so it probably is more like you meant to. I was just thinking, like, oh, he's getting older, and not that he can't keep up, but like, it takes more work for him to keep up. But I mean, that might not be true. Yeah. But I just feel like for him and Clay and shit like that, like, it's much it's much easier for maybe not easier, maybe more no, it is easier. I feel like it's much easier for a younger player to put more hours and time and sink it into that.
Yeah.
Because one, like, in general, they usually have less, like, life responsibilities. And 2 is just like, you're hungry, you want it. And not to say that he's not hungry, he doesn't want it, but just like, it's a different type of energy when you're young and grinding for something than when, like, even though when you've kind of proved yourself and, like, yeah, you still want it, but, like,
you just want it in a different manner.
Yeah. It's not the same where it's like you're working for it, you're trying to get, because it's the same thing. Like, watch this. You see that game and the music? It's
right,
like,
all right, talk about it.
Your debut tape. You've been writing this shit your whole life. That's why so many niggas, like, first project is fire out the gate. They've had their whole life to write this shit, like, and they really want it for real. And then they pop off, and then it's like they second tape. That's why the sophomore album is sometimes it'd be shaky. Sometimes I'd be like,
sophomore curse.
I don't know, nigga. I don't think you got it like you used to, type shit. But yeah, I just feel like, not to say that he doesn't. I'm also treading carefully because, like, I like Scump as a player. I don't know the most about him because I'm new to the COD community, and so I kind of got introduced to it when he was on his way out. But, like, I don't know. I'm a fan of Nade Shot, and I see, like, a lot of people put him and Nade Shot in kind of the same category. Yeah. So, like, automatically he's gonna get my respect off of that. I mean, at the end of the day, I am a fan, so it'd be like those.
Yeah, I mean, I think Scump and Nate Shot are adjacent in the sense that where Nate Shot lacked in skill, he had in business acumen, and Scump was kind of able to take the skill portion and still be a foundational piece in why Optic is the, leader in the COD community like they are, while still being able to compete. Like, if you really think about it, that's insane in the sense that he doesn't miss content and scrims and traveling to events and doing podcasts and streaming. Like, he kind of checked all the boxes off. Yeah. And all those boxes that he checked off grew his organization. So I feel like if you love Optic, or if you love Scump, it sucks seeing him not compete. But at the same time, like, me as somebody who looked up to Scump in the sense that he made me want to compete as well. But I'm so removed from actually competing that I care more about him as a personality and as an entertainer. Yeah. So kind of being able to get more of that is much better, because it's way better than seeing him compete, wanting him to win, and then they lose all the time.
I mean, yeah, because
that's the part where it's like, well, I'd rather not have that no more.
I'm honestly probably gonna consume his content more. Like, I'm actually gonna look out for his content, because before it was kind of just like, well, I would only really watch the shit like when it's roster mania, or like recently when they dropped Dashie and shit. It was like, well, I want to hear what they're gonna say about this, because it has to do with the community. And other than that, it was kind of just like, he's a cool person, but like, that's the ops for real. Like, unfortunately, it is what it is. But I'm like, I'm not gonna root for you, nigga. Like,
That's fair. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people saying it's a sad day. I think it's a great day. I mean, and if you look at Optic Texas roster, like, on paper, like, that is oh my God. Like, I'm talking, like, I've seen Dashie in Black Ops 4, bro. I've seen Hugh in Black Ops 4, bro. And even before that. And Shasi and Illy. I mean, they had Exio. And I don't know, bro. Like, on paper, that's a good roster. So if you're an Optic fan, you shouldn't be upset. And if you're an esports fan, you shouldn't be upset, because, just another esports personality. And I feel like you need personalities like that to grow the industry.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, I think him doing content is like you said, going to grow the industry. Like, it really is just going to propel it, because I feel like he can take it, because he's from what I've seen, his personality is cool. Like, I feel like he can sell it pretty well. He can take that, and as where Nate, and I'm going to keep bringing it back to Nate Shot because I'm a 100 Thieves fan, but as opposed to where Nate Shot is kind of just like he came from COD and he likes COD, but he's more of a general gaming, like, and oriented himself in that more. I feel like Scump's success propels Call of Duty, and it brings all of that up, as opposed to where, like, Nate Shot's success kind of just brings up esports.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
So I feel like with Scump retiring and focusing more on content, and also with the move to Twitch, like, CDO should hopefully only run it up even more from here. Like,
I would honestly think so, and I think that next event, the next major, is gonna be crazy, because, like he said, he's not tied to competing. He can interact with fans more, since it's not COVID, and just kind of be amongst the green wall, so to speak. So I feel like it'll be great. And that first Optic match with him not on the roster, that's just gonna do numbers, bro.
Oh, definitely.
That's just gonna do stupid numbers, and he can even co-stream it. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Listen, I'm a much bigger Zuma fan than I am a Scump fan, but him co-streaming
Zuma is hilarious, bro.
But Zuma is so fucking funny, bro. Him co-streaming the Optic match is going to go crazy.
It's probably gonna get more numbers than YouTube.
Nah, literally, bro. Like, holy, this nigga he's gonna go up with that shit.
It's gonna go up, and it all makes sense. And I saw one of my friends asked me what I thought about the whole business side of it. Or, like, how was he able to get out of his contract? Or I was in a chat from people anyway. They were like, how was he able to get out of his contract? And I was like, bro, like, this man has equity in the company. Like, there's more than enough clauses and things in that contract. It's like, when I'm done, bro. Like, because when I'm done competing, like, it's not like your organization's gonna take a hit. Like,
yeah, I mean, you mean His CDL contract or his optic contract?
CDL, not optic contract. The
Oh.
CDL contract.
Cause I was like, his optic contract.
No,
like,
that shit is. That
bro,
shit might be framed somewhere. Like
literally. Nigga, I
shit
do
is
what I
platinum.
want. Right.
Platinum.
Nah, but I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like as long as I feel like CDL knows he's still gonna be around and shit, and it's only more helpful for them. Where it's like, and I feel like they've been embracing that more, like with the flank booth at the most recent major. I feel like they're realizing more and more like how their content creators can boost and propel the league. So I think this is only.
It's like Hex
even
has
better
been
for them.
saying this for the past decade.
Crazy.
Content.
It's
content,
crazy how
content.
like people
personalities
who were here before the league might know a little bit about how the league could run and like what propels. But you know,
man, that's just so frustrating. But I do love seeing a lot of people rag on Infinity Ward. You know I said a podcast or two ago about how I can side with the developers, but I just love the fact that people are like, see what y'all did, Infinity Ward? You retired because of y'all make shit games. It's like, that's kind of fucked up, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not about to disagree with you, bro. Like, the game is stale as hell. Stale as hell. And they pushed season 2 back, so it's like, get me off of this shit too, man.
I mean, I do think it's interesting though. Even more so now that the game is going 2 years with people. Like, I wonder how would people bring it up more and more and complaining, because I mean, people are always going to complain about games, but I just wonder how, like, towards the end of that lifespan, if we're gonna get like because I don't know with the league especially, like, because I was even thinking about it, because they mentioned like, oh, like we could do best of 7 instead of best of 9s this year, and I'm like, damn, yeah, because there's no fucking maps to play,
right? And
I'm like, well, if there's no fucking maps to play now, what the fuck are we gonna do in a year from now when it's still the same game? Like, I am not super familiar with how the like map refreshes come back and like maps going back works, but I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. But
if they take the Cold War route, it'll be fine, because Cold War had a few maps that were naturally integrated into the competitive rotation. It was Raid, whatever that jungle-based map was, and maybe one more. And I feel like a lot of us as Call of Duty players are just waiting for this refresh for older maps to come in the game, because I don't know what it is. They can't make a good map no more. And maybe by year 2, my hope at least for the competitive rotation, it'll be nothing but the maps that are tried and true, because I don't think their focus is, well, I know their focus isn't competitive.
Yeah.
So if you have working competitive maps that you can quote unquote remaster, just put those out, and maybe one new map that the players still like, and then just go that route, because the competitive side is just going to complain. The casual side, if you're shipping out piss poor content, like they're bringing back a map in season 2 from World at War that they also brought back in Vanguard. It's Castle. Castle was in World at War. They remastered it for Vanguard, and now remastering it for season 2 is like, what the fuck? Like, and that's the type of lazy shit where it's just like, you warrant every complaint, because why would you do that? Activision, why would you do that? I'm not mad at the developers for having it. Like, they have to do their job, but
at the end of the day, they told what to do for the most part. Like,
but that's just the out of touch shit. Is like, who wants to play a map that's already being remastered in the worst Call of Duty of all time?
I mean, I don't even know, like, yeah, I don't, like, cause they have to know what makes a good map by now. Like, they've just done so many. They know, they like got to know which ones people like. They just have to. So I just don't understand why you wouldn't take that bare bones on that baseline and just always build off of that instead of, and like, yeah, try new shit, but I feel like your skeleton should be
literally
pretty much the same, and it just feels like, which the way people talk about these maps, it does not sound like.
No, it's terrible. It's literally terrible. But you go on the Warzone map, there's some POIs that are literally copy pasted from Modern Warfare 2. Like, there's a place in the Warzone 2 map called Quarry, and part of that map is exactly like the Modern Warfare 2 map. Like, everything it's the exact same for like 95% of it. And it's like, well, if you can do that, surely you can just do the same thing for like the normal map rotation.
Right.
You would think. You know what I'm saying? You would think.
Apparently we don't think.
But I know how infuriating it must be as a developer that sees what you should be doing, but you know that you can't. You're limited to whatever the boss says.
I feel like the people who are probably the most mad, even more than the pros even, are the people who grew up playing Call of Duty, got into game development to work on Call of Duty, and know what makes a good Call of Duty, and then get told some bullshit from up top, like,
oof.
Yeah, do this though, and they're like, but that.
And there's somehow numbers to prove their, the business decisions. It's like, where are y'all getting these numbers from?
That is true. Where are they getting these numbers from?
Because they have to have the numbers, because you have to have a fucking like presentation or whatever behind the decisions. Like it's not like they're just like, do this. Like they have numbers supporting it, but where are these numbers from, bro? Numbers are lying.
Yeah, I don't even. It really must be just the people who are gonna buy COD every year. That's what it has to be.
They need a survey or some shit. In-game survey. Do you enjoy this game? You cannot play until you answer this. I want to see what those numbers are like. Literally block the game off from being played until you answer this survey. One question. Do you enjoy this? People are going to troll and say no, though. Yeah. But I think if it was a good game, like if you do that for God of War, people are going to say, yeah, it's a good game. Niggas ain't going to troll that because it's not the truth.
Right.
But, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately, like, even when your development team cares, you can't always see things through the way you would like to, or the way people feel like they should be.
Yeah.
As with any industry. But I mean, today was the end of an era for real.
End of an era.
Beginning of a new one, and I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm excited all around. Now I get to consume Scum's content, which I'm excited to like get to know him more, the personality more, and like see what everybody sees in him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I was saying this to Danny earlier. This is so fucked, but like, y'all hero just retired. My heroes just got brought back on.
Oh my god, bro.
Cause on some real shit. What next week?
Mm-hmm.
League of Legends starts back up. My two goats just got signed back to 100 Thieves out of retirement. Or one of them out of retirement.
Damn.
Fucking Double Lift from TSM when I first got in League of Legends. That was my team. Double Lift came out of retirement for 100 Thieves.
On some formal shit.
Nah, literally. And Bjergsen was on TSM, and then he went to coaching for TSM, and then he went to Team Liquid recently, but now he's on Thieves. But Double Lift and Bjergsen as a duo was like two of my favorite players for real. And then they also have the 100 Thieves League team is just good in general. They're one of the better league teams in the NA at least. I mean, it's not like they're OCK team, which is Korean, but I mean, for the NA, they're pretty up there. And I mean, they have their jungler, which is who they've gotten this far with. They have their support and top laner, which they've had like in basically the challengers. They're basically part of their academy team that they just brought up, and then they have two of the goats, fucking Bjergsen and Double Lift.
That's fire.
Like a top tier mid laner, top tier ADC. So
That's
I'm like,
fire.
Oh, I'm lit. One thing I'm mad about is their jerseys this year are ugly as fuck. I'm not buying one. But I'm like, damn, my hero's up right now. But like, respect to y'all, it'd be like those. But I mean, I think it'll definitely be very interesting. If it makes you feel better, like when Double Lift went to content, I was not watching that content. I was like, respectfully, bro, like,
that's not what you're here for.
Not even that's not what I'm here for. You're just kind of boring for real. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing that I think spanning a bunch of esports, like a lot of these people don't have to be entertaining because their gameplay is entertaining. Yeah. So like when they stop competing or they get big to the point where people don't necessarily want to watch you be great. Like Shroud had to learn how to be great. Like, and now I find him somewhat I haven't watched him in a minute, but when I did watch him when he was in that stupid nice ass house the fuck he's at, I was like, his streams are kind of cool. Whereas before, whenever I watched Shroud, I was like, I don't really care about him. Like, the nigga is just flicking everywhere and not missing. How? How?
Yeah. I mean, I
A
feel
lot
like
of people don't know how to make that transition though, that personal transition.
yeah, I feel like a lot of the younger players are better at it, or just because they know where they can go, like a tens, like a It's Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're doing a great job of being good at the game and also embracing content, and working on their personality. Because at the end of the day, like Scump retiring shows us this shit is not forever.
Right.
And I mean, you got to one day you are no longer gonna be able to compete, and you need something to fall back on.
And a lot of these young players, even if you're watching and you're trying to get into competitive Call of Duty, let me tell you, Scump's run is not. That's not something that can be replicated, bro. Like, very few people can reach that level of greatness, and that's shit. I mean, you can look at any sport or esport and realize that to be a fact.
Yeah.
A lot of these people's career are going to end around our age because there's young crack kids coming in, 18, fresh out of mama house, trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to make that run to, I think Scump's 28, 27, 28?
He's not 30 yet.
Nah, he's not 30 yet. But still, like, it's gonna get weeded out. People, it's gonna get weeded out, and he's kind of an anomaly. You see people like Clayster and Krim, and even Karma or Formal, just like a lot of the greats that have been gone. Well, Clayster's recent, but still, he's another anomaly too.
I mean, yeah, we got Clayster,
I just named nothing but anomalies.
I mean, yeah,
for real.
Clay, we got Austin or Slasher. I don't think who else is really like up there for real. It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was them three
between, and I'm not saying that they're not talented or smart, but they're kind of grandfathered into the sense where like their foundation's already set from CWL, MLG days. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like they're not gonna get rid of. I don't know if I worded that right, but you can't get rid of them as easy because they have a lot of foundational knowledge.
They're not replaceable.
Right. So a lot of these, like, I'll throw out a name because I don't give a fuck, but like Sib, he's nasty. For him to have a decade run like Scump, I don't see it. I would love to be proved wrong, but he's one of like the super talented people that I don't really know if you can make that run. And I only say that because you need to focus on that backup plan. Yeah. That personality tip or business mind or whatever you want to do in esports. Like, you have to start working on that once you are able to somewhat set a foundation in competing, because it can come and go. You know what I mean? All it takes is one drop. And then,
I mean, you see people, you get dropped and never get back in the league. Yeah, you're in challengers.
Good luck.
It's like, fuck. But I mean,
my boy Scraps, he's back on the Royal Ravens roster now. It took him forever to get back on that roster.
I mean, fuck, look at Gizmo.
Tough.
But
I mean, it's just
1 year and just.
It's the reality of the situation. Even Dylan had a crazy run in Black Ops 4. He had the shit against FaZe and the 1-on-1 against Scump. No, that was Celium who had the 1-on-1 against Scump. Anyway.
Or Paul X.
Paul X, yeah. Like, it's just a lot of players who are nasty, but their tenures are short, and they have to kind of pick up the pieces on how they can continue to grow their brand. But if you are able to set that foundation, or, even better, if you're able to go into being a pro or semi-pro with that foundation, that's ideal. And I think that's what's really going to be able to make people last longer in the league. Yeah. Because now you're a content. Like, you bring more to the table, minus just being a good-ass player, because we've seen that that's not the only thing that can keep you on long-term, keep you as a pro long-term.
I mean, you need to be a good player. You also need to be able to work with the team well, because that's definitely a big thing that people don't realize. So, like, vibes in practice and vibes outside of the game are very important. Because, I mean, even when you have talented rosters, like I don't know, people are looking at the Optic roster, and I don't know, maybe it's because I don't know as much about the scene, but, like, I'm wondering if they're going to be able to, like, work together, like, for real.
But that shit that just happened with Dashy, I don't really know what the fuck is going on.
Bro, when they said they're bringing him back, I'm like, after how he flashed out.
Yeah, like.
But, and, like, bro.
That's a second resolution, too. No. He was dropped before the season started.
Yes, and like, literally in the podcast where they talk about dropping him, Hex talks about like how there's some people he just can't bring back out to the object because of what they said. Like he's like, I can't bring Krem back because of how he's fucking chirped us or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's because Dashy played the victim card
Yeah.
and got out in front of it. But
I thought Dashy was kind of corny in how he handled the situation. So seeing him back on the roster was kind of like, I mean, I guess it makes sense because there was probably a lot of conversations behind the scene on what the rosters and roles should look like.
yeah,
To where Scump was probably just like, man, fuck this. Like, here, just do it, go.
yeah.
But at the same time, Rambo's still the coach. And nigga Dashy was like, you really want to go to Stars and Strike or wherever he was. It wasn't Stars and Strikes, but man, you really want to bowl. I was like, you get on him for bowling, bro? Really?
I mean, bowling is kind of corny, but
I don't give a damn if he was golfing. I'm sitting here like, Formal said it in the, I know we're staying on this for a while, but I know y'all enjoy the conversation too, so it's fine. Formal said it in the this podcast, like around the table thing that he did with the Halo roster and Hitch. He was talking about how coaches are kind of irrelevant as far as like their overall impact on the team because they're not really in the comms during the game like Halo and other esports. And besides setting up scrims and kind of telling you what you should be doing, like it's really credit to the players. It's really heavy player IQ, quick decisions in the game to where like the coach doesn't really have a large impact on a roster like other esports. So it's like, in that sense, I say there's assistant coaches too, and like Dashy was mad just because he went to go bowling after a scrim on Tuesdays or whatever the fuck. I'm like, bro, like, really? Like, it's petty.
yeah. I mean, the way that she handled it in general was kind of petty to me. I don't know if I don't know. I know a lot of people were saying they agree with like the Formal take, but I don't think I agree with that. Like, I mean, yeah, they can't be as hands on because they're not literally in the comms, like you can in like a football or like a Halo and shit like that. But like, I don't know. Maybe his coach wasn't doing that.
I think the coach that you're probably referencing is an anomaly.
I mean, maybe our coaches are different.
If you compare it to, if you're talking about Crowder, we can say it because
yeah.
if you're talking about Crowder, that's an anomaly case, bro. If you're thinking about all the coaches around the league, Crowder is like, I don't even know how to. He's like, I won't say if Scump started coaching, but he's like to that instant. If Slasher started coaching, well, that team's gonna be good because you got one of the smartest minds coaching you now, but not at least as it stands right now. Maybe as these players start to retire.
This might be.
Then they start coaching maybe. But.
This might be my ignorance then. But like, it's not normal for players to, because in league that's normal. Like for you to retire, like when you retire in league, you become a coach.
No, that's a lot of players, but it's not a lot of like
good players.
You know what I mean? In my opinion, it's not the cream of the crop players, or they just haven't really learned how to become great coaches yet. Maybe it's still so new, in the sense.
Well, I would think that like the IGOs would become coaches, would be the natural transition. Like a good IGO retires and becomes a coach.
Yeah, I mean, if you think like quarterbacks becoming a coach or a point guard becoming a coach, but if you look at that, like Steve Nash in basketball, one of the greatest point guards ever, became a coach. Nigga, terrible coach. Kevin Durant said, "You gotta go because this ain't working. Please leave." And now they're better now. So like, you can even take the most brilliant minds and they don't know how to galvanize and coach a team.
Because my understanding of it is, I think all three of our coaches are like fucking great, to be honest. So maybe it's just like I am biased because I'm seeing the best it can be, and like that's not the norm.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Formal had a more consensual take, like a wider range, like a consensus of what coaches are in the league, and I'm pretty sure he would agree with what you're saying about Phase's coaches. But you're talking about the grander scale. Him being a player, had been coached in 2 different esports. Like, I personally can't not take his side as somebody who played, had a coach in Call of Duty, coach in esport, or coach in Halo, and see what both of those dynamics are. I kind of take his point of view into account.
Mine was never. I'm never gonna be like, you're wrong, because I mean, it's fucking Formal. Like, respectfully, who the fuck am I? As far as knowing anything about COD or the community or anything like that, I just feel like useless is real aggressive and unnecessary.
That is a
Maybe
little harsh.
they cannot be as, and maybe most coaches in Call of Duty are not as impactful as they can be in Halo, and I mean that's just, I feel like at that point it's a stipulation of the rules and regulations of the league.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like
Useless is a heavy term, but
yeah, like because useless sounds crazy.
that could just be
me.
bad wording in the moment of expressing how he feels towards coaches.
Well, yeah, but he said they're useless. They only really do shit the players don't want to do. Not that they can't do, but that they don't want to do.
Is he wrong? If in
I just feel like
in the grand scheme of the CDL, I don't believe that to not be true.
I just feel like,
because I see it.
I mean, maybe I just feel like the coaching position and those leadership positions are so important for one, cultivating an environment where like people feel like they can bring things up. People feel like making sure people are talking to each other, noticing tendencies in players that they might not notice in themselves, and doing shit like. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like coaches, I feel like coaches have to be that glue to keep the team together, and keep that chemistry going, and that's so fucking important. And like you can do that to an extent just as the players, but it's a completely different it's a completely different monster when you have that coach that's holding it together and that knows that. Because I mean, even if the like smallest shit, like, well, I don't like how this person did this or whatever the fuck, I can go to my coach, talk about that. We can talk through they're an objective point of view for the most part. They can see where both of you are coming from, conflict resolution, things like that. And then, like again, like I said, noticing those patterns, noticing those tendencies, bring it up to you in a way that makes sense and is helpful for you. Like, I mean, and I feel like that the IGL position is more of like, maybe the coaching position is split more in Call of Duty because the IGL does more of like the in-com shit, that like they do in like a Halo or like a traditional sport. But I don't know. I feel like the coaches have a hard job, and it's kind of less tangible. It's hard to like put it into words, less tangible, less concrete, but I feel like you can definitely tell when a team has a good coach versus when they
just have somebody in that position.
Yeah, when they just have a coach to say they have a coach.
Yeah.
And I mean, even like shit like fucking Tupac. Like, Tupac was making a living playing 8s, bro. That's how good this nigga is at SND. So, like, just to have all that knowledge for this specific game mode to give to the players, like, I mean, our players play a lot of 8. Like, it's Austin especially plays 8s a lot, but like, there's only so much he can learn.
Yeah.
And it's just different. Like, I feel like it allows, with them being in those other positions, it also allows for them to focus on shit or like, but yeah, I just feel like it allows for them to put time in that the players can't put in, don't have the luxury of putting in. Because like we were even saying with Scump, like the scrimming and their own personal brands and shit like that. Like, while they're doing that, the coaches are watching the scrims, of course, but they also have other shit that they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, and there are notes that they can take in a scrim that and bring up after the fact that, like, if all 4 players are playing, they can't really do that shit. Like, they can make mental notes, but they're not seeing all the POVs of both their players and the other players,
right,
and having that insight. And like, yeah, they can watch VOD after, but like, I mean, the great players will. And I mean, Ace was kind of, or I forget, I never know which one is Ace or fucking Haggy or whatever the fuck on the flank. He's saying like the good player is reviewing VOD after, but it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so many hours in the day. There are other things that you have to take care of, and if you're going hard and doing all that, eventually you're going to run out of steam. It's just not sustainable. So I feel like the coaches being there to alleviate that pressure off the players is very important, and also allows the players to perform at a higher level.
Yeah, and like I said, I definitely agree, and I feel like the reference point you might have is the example that is being set for the CDL, and one that's relatively tried and true. I would say the former Dallas roster, current Optic roster with Rambo, and their whole staff is kind of like another one that is like, here's what the coach's role is very defined and is very impactful. Like, you can see it. I mean, it worked with the Empire and didn't really work so well with Texas, but nonetheless, you can see kind of like what that structure looks like. And Formal is very much probably speaking from CWL days, early CDL days maybe, and just like what COD coaches have been for years, to which I feel like the structure that you're talking about is very, very new. And until that kind of starts, and really maybe these older players start getting weeded out and become coaches, that structure will become way more defined across different teams. But like I said, I see both sides. But it was, say all that to say, it was still kind of weird for Dashy to kind of fucking, like you say, chirp his coach like that, and now
that's so weird.
he's back on the team. It's like,
Yeah, I was gonna.
this was football, nigga. Go run, get on the line.
Nah, literally.
Hit them suicides real quick.
Because they were like, oh, he was like, yeah, fuck, like being into each other, all that shit. I'm like, well, no, the vibes are chalk, like not as far as I'm concerned, and from both sides. The Illy, I mean, not as much, but Dashy has been dropped twice. I would definitely be so fucking mad, bro. I'd be so pissed.
I'm like,
so I
don't want him to leave or something. Like, what is it, bro?
So
like,
I don't blame him for being mad and like chirping him. Like I get it. I get him being angry. Me personally, I'm just not that type of person to like go out and be like everybody's business. Especially when it feels like you don't. I don't know. It felt like he was nitpicking a lot of little shit, a lot of petty shit. So it's like, especially when you don't really have like, not that he doesn't have a leg to stand on, but it's like, I don't know. Just the examples he was bringing was not like,
yeah, exactly
how he was presenting them. He wasn't. He was making them seem like a bigger deal than they were. I feel like. But yeah, man. I don't know. That's a weird.
It's weird.
Weird one for me.
And the rest of this, this season, this Modern Warfare 2 Chapter 1 season, I guess, whatever the fuck they want to call it.
What the fuck they're gonna say? Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And by that, I mean, after this Boston major, I feel like everything's pretty much gonna iron out anyway. Like, people don't realize Scump retiring isn't that big of a deal as far as just like the lore of the CDL right now. Like, I feel like Scump didn't, because they weren't winning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not like it's super impactful that he retired. The numbers aren't going to drop because the numbers are fairly decent throughout all the games. So it's like, I don't think much is going to happen.
I mean, the amount of fucking people I saw cheering for Seattle and shit in optic jerseys and major one, I was like, well, clearly we don't have a problem. Like,
yeah. So I think everything will be fine. COD will be, everything will continue to move as pretty much fairly the same. I think it's gonna be a boost initially, and then it's just gonna iron out. So
level. I mean, hopefully it'll level out a little bit higher than it was before, just because I feel like he'll be.
That would be nice.
Shit, but
that would be nice.
Yeah, but I mean,
well, we shall see.
We shall see.
Where we at?
120.
Oh wow, damn. We really do this. Y'all enjoying the episode?
We be potted for real.
We be potting for real.
Not like that ass.
Nah, is there anything else you want to talk about? We can round it up.
I think we can round it out here. Yeah,
that's cool with me.
Yeah, I mean, we'll mention last time we mentioned Avatar 2. I wasn't watching that shit, and you know what I watched instead? Puss in Boots 2, or actually, I think that's Puss in Boots 3. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, good movie, great animation, I love it. They feel like they took some what's the word? A little bit of art direction from Into the Spider-Verse, where it has like those stop motion, like comic book stills moments and shit like that. If you do watch the movie, Death, my favorite character, top tier. But I mean, it's a good kids movie. I mean, it is a kids movie at the end of the day, but
it's good. They need bangers, bro. Cause I be thinking like, what are the kids watching? Like what we were watching. So if it's a dope movie, I'm glad they have something.
And I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. They could have put fucking Nightcore in the background. I would have just watched the animation. I like good art, man, and it has some good art. So fuck it.
Dope.
But yeah, I think that's a good place to end off the podcast.
Good place to end off the podcast. Hey, if y'all hear from that Ab Soul reaction, just know we try to be as consistent as possible with these, long form podcasts. But we will drop some more reactions for y'all. We got some of those on the way. If you want to hear anything, let us know in the comments down below right now. Type, please, because y'all don't be typing tight, bro.
Let me know what you want me to react to, bro. I be reacting. I be saying shit sometimes.
Reacting and shit.
You haven't even seen me react to no crazy shit for real yet. Believe me.
Ooh, can't wait for that. But yeah, we appreciate y'all watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good shit.
Notification.